Hey, what's up, guys? It's MugenLord here, and today we're going to talk about Marvel Rivals. Yes, that's right. I have gotten into the closed beta. The closed beta had pretty much ended, over the weekend, and I decided just to take some time just to think about it before I actually make a video to get my thoughts after, spending countless of hours with my brothers playing the game. And I thank my brothers Keelancer and DX Strike for giving me a beta key in order to gain access to the game. And a lot of you guys also enjoyed some of my gameplay as well when I did a live stream on the game, so I also appreciate that. So here's the biggest question: is the game actually good? And I will say yes, man, I had a good time with the game. But before I even go into any details and let you know how I feel about the game, the characters, the gameplay, and everything, make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell for more gaming content here on this channel. So we're going to dive into it. Now, the thing is, when it comes to Marvel Rivals, this actually caught me off guard. I was not expecting them to announce a game like this. And then we have the developers NetEase. And if you guys don't know who NetEase is, they're also the developers behind Naraka Blade Point, which I still yet to actually play that game. The game actually looks fun. I haven't yet to try it, but I'm definitely going to try it at some point. But they were developers behind this game. Now, the thing is, right now, when it comes to the Marvel IP and the license and everything, a lot of gamers at this point, especially within the culture war, really have their issues with it. Especially when you look at the MCU as well, what they have done to the property. After Endgame and stuff like that, a lot of fans have pretty much been falling out of love with Marvel because of some of the bad choices that they've been making and stuff, and you're starting to see it in a lot of their other games. So, when people seen the announcement of Marvel Rivals, a lot of people at the beginning were saying, I'm done with Marvel. I don't care anything that Marvel does. But for me, I'm still a Marvel fan. Even though I don't like the things that's going on, I haven't watched any of the recent stuff, I still love Marvel. And I love the characters and everything. And the fact is that now we have an Eastern studio taking, I guess, a shot at the Marvel IP and the license and everything. Man, I will say this: the character designs was the first thing that grabbed me, and then of course, secondly, is the gameplay. And this is where everybody had this confliction of how they should feel about this, because it's pretty much a hero shooter, and it took a lot of inspiration from Overwatch, and you can see it in the level designs, you can see it in the gameplay and everything. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because like I said before, some of the best things are things that's imitated by others. Is the fact is how the developers take advantage of those things that they're taking inspiration from, and how can they improve upon it or pretty much maintain it, but add their own flair to it to attract an audience or attract the player base. And as I said before, they took no shame. They took some of the best things of Overwatch, especially the early Overwatch, man, because I had a good time with early Overwatch when Overwatch 1 was released. Played that game for countless and countless of hours, and it appears that that's what they have done when it comes to Marvel Rivals. They took some of the best aspects and some of the best features of the original Overwatch, and they just crammed it all in there, and then they just took their little, I guess you say, little flair and added to it with the Marvel characters and everything. So we definitely want to dive right into it. For starters, I love the character designs. They went for more of a, I guess you say, like a sci-fi fantasy type of, I guess you say, aesthetic when it comes to Marvel Rivals, which I have no problem with like that. And I love the fact is that they were able to take an Eastern inspiration or style to these characters, because most of the problem that people have been having with a lot of Western games, especially when it comes to their female characters, is how ugly the designs are, unattractive the designs are, and they starting to even do that with the male characters as well, especially down in up at Marvel. So now you have NetEase that have their own twist and their own spin on the aesthetics and the designs of the characters, and I must say, it is fire. I love all the designs of all the characters, more specifically, especially the female characters. Oh my god, the design of Storm. We also Luna. We also have Magic and a few other characters that really like caught my surprise when I seen the designs, and it make you want to click on the character and actually give them a try. But everybody looks badass, even from Iron Man all the way down to Venom as well. And then they took some other liberties, especially like Magneto. His design looks completely different from what we see traditionally with Magneto's outfit and everything like that. So they also took some liberties that changed some characters up, you know, to make them fit this world that they're trying to establish. And I guess you would say it has somewhat of a storyline. They're going with some type of, I guess you would say, a multiverse, especially what's going on in MCU right now with the multiverse. So the storyline really centers around these different variations of characters in different worlds. So they pretty much sticking to that plot when it comes to this game, and it's also perfect because it makes excuses of how these characters look the way they look, and also they can pull inspirations to bring in various different costumes and aesthetic looks to the characters, and all that type of stuff they can just weave into the gameplay and also weave into their, of course, we're going to have cosmetic mechanics added into the game as well. But for starters, let's just talk about what to expect or what the game entails as far as the mechanics are concerned. Well, in this game, it's a hero shooter, so when it comes to a hero shooter, it's all about communication, and it's all about the different character types and classes that play a specific role to create the synergy within your team and everything. So when it comes to the team, I guess you say classes in this game, you pretty much have your tank class, and then you have your DPS class, and then you also have your support class, and then you have all the different various Marvel characters that fit into these different categories. So we can pretty much give you an example. Magneto. Now, some people wasn't expecting Magneto to be a tank. People thought he would probably be more like a DPS or everything from the people I talked to within my circle. But it makes pretty much sense, a lot of sense, that Magneto will be somewhat a tank in this game. I mean, if you read the comics or know anything about the comics, I mean, this man uses magnetism to hold up an asteroid that has mutants living on the asteroid, and his powers as he's sitting on the throne is holding up an entire asteroid for mutants to live on. So yeah, that's I think that's would qualify him to be a tank. But yes, you have Incredible Hulk, who's also a tank, which I think the gameplay mechanics is pretty interesting what they have done with the Incredible Hulk as well, where he can start off as Bruce Banner, but as his gamma radiation and everything builds up, you press a button to activate and he'll turn into the Incredible Hulk, where he can put gamma shields on everybody. He has all these particular buffs and everything. But then once you weaken the Hulk, he turns back to Bruce Banner, and that's the only time you're able to eliminate him, once he's in Bruce Banner form, which I love the take and I love the twist that they have put on a lot of these characters. And also, when you dive into the game, when you select your characters, they also have the difficulty rating. So if you're a beginner and you're trying to understand the game, you can look at each of the classes, and each of the classes of characters will give you their difficulty. So if you're trying to learn the game, obviously you can go with the easier character within that class in order to get a chance to get an understanding of how the game works and how this character work itself. But fear not, there's also a tutorial mode. The tutorial mode will also teach you how to play the game, how the gameplay mechanics work, what buttons does what on your loadout, and then you'll dive right into the game. And also there's a training mode, so you can get into the labs, so you can be able to understand how the hero that you're choosing, the Marvel hero that you're choosing, to understand how they play. So that's another good thing that you don't have to, that I didn't have to worry about. I was able to dive in, figure out, pick a favorite character, figure out how the character ticks, how it works, and then able to step into a match with my brothers, which I really enjoy. Now, as far as the characters that I have played in this game, was let's see, Luna Snow, Magic, Hela, Punisher, Penny Parker, and Rocket. They were the characters that I got a chance to play in the beta, and I wanted to actually spend some time to actually play. I didn't get a chance to actually try out Spider-Man, Venom, and the rest of the other characters. I also tried Iron Man. I forgot about Iron Man, but I tried Iron Man as well. But to start off, the first character I definitely wanted to hop in and try was Magic. Magic was the first character like grabbed my attention. I love her aesthetic, I love her design, and I'm a sucker for characters with big ass swords. I love characters with big ass swords. You know, Cloud's my favorite character, of course, and plus the Buster Sword that he has. I think they're really, really cool characters. And then on top of this, with Magic, you got a female character with a big sword, and her character design looks dope as fuck and sexy as fuck at the same time. sign me up. So I definitely wanted to try Magic first. Now, Magic is more of the DPS class, where I have to have put out a lot of damage output as possible. Now, the thing is with her character, she's pretty slow, because I mean, can you imagine why? She has this big ass sword, but the most of her gameplay mechanics focus around this teleport step or portal step that she has, where she can warp through a portal and come out the other end. And what I noticed is with this gameplay style, it makes up for her slow movement, and it makes up for her slow attack that she swings with her sword, because as she comes out of the warp hole, she can cast either a demon that can actually combo the opponents, or she can come out and do a spin attack that actually covers a wide area. So the whole gameplay is jumping in and out of the portal, getting out of danger, or stepping into a huge crowd and then swiping your sword and it hits everybody, which I found the gameplay pretty cool. And I actually got an actual kill streak with the character as well. But she takes some time to actually get used to get an understanding, because yes, she's a very slow character. You can't go in there and just hack and slash. It just doesn't work with this character. You definitely need to be strategic, and you definitely have to be more in close corner like hallways or corridors to actually get a fair fight against characters that are actually much faster than you. So yes, Magic is a pretty cool character. Now, the thing that I noticed about when it comes to Iron Man and Storm, these characters are pretty much flight characters. You know, Iron Man is a DPS along with Storm, but these flight characters has a whole different type of feel to them. And what do I mean by that? Unlike Overwatch is more of a horizontal gameplay. Every once in a while you will have characters within the roster who is able to, you know, levitate and float for a extensive period of time, but they normally come back and hit the ground. But when it comes to Marvel Rivals, when you look at the stage layout, the stage is very vertical. And so there's a lot of vertical gameplay that you have to keep in mind, because when it comes to Storm that I've played, and then when it comes to Iron Man, these characters are always in flight mode. Ascend and descend in the air. So you're constantly in the air. So this makes it actually harder for people or heralds on the ground to actually target this character, especially if you're pretty good with them, because you're constantly moving, you're constantly zipping around in the air. And as a player who's playing on the ground, you have to really keep an eye on them, because they're all over the place and they can actually snipe you from pretty good distances. But at the same time, for me, vertical gameplay has always been a difficult thing, even in fighting games, especially when it comes to the Versus series. You know, most fighting games are more on the ground, footsie based, but when it comes to Versus games or more anime fighters, they have horizontal to vertical gameplay, which is your aerial type of combos and stuff. So you have to keep in mind of both the air and the ground, and that's what it is when it comes to these more of these flight characters like Storm. I really had a hard time trying to navigate the Storm and her gameplay, trying to keep in mind when to ascend, when to descend, and everything like that. And then the same thing with Iron Man, who is actually pretty fun. You get to zip and fly around, which also makes it very difficult in closed areas. And the developers also kept that in mind, because there's characters that's constantly going to be in the air flying. So to make sure they have to balance that out, that's why you see a lot of the environments, you have these tall buildings where players can actually climb up on and stuff like that, and also to pretty much limit how much area that these characters in the air can take, because these characters can be busted if the sky is just constantly just wide open for them to actually just fly around, and you would never be able to like stop them. So that's why they put a lot of things, a lot of close corners for these characters to have to make it hard for them to maneuver, and it makes it a little bit easier for characters who don't have flight to be able to shoot them out of the sky. So speaking of environments, before I get back to the characters, environments are also pretty cool. Unlike Overwatch, these environments actually break. They actually impact the whole terrain or the layout of the battlefield, which I also thought was pretty cool. So some areas you can actually just depending, if you press right on the directional pad, you can actually scan the area to find out what areas are breakable. And once you break these areas, it changes the entire terrain. Of course, the areas will respawn back after a certain amount of time, but the fact is that you can actually change the whole outcome of the battle just by destroying the certain aspects, by destroying certain buildings to make it easier for your flight characters to fly and zoom around the stage, or you can break the ground to knock them underground to make it even harder for them to traverse from leaving from the underground area to get back to the surface area, which I think is also pretty cool, and that's a nice touch that NetEase added to the game. And it also give you that Marvel Comics or that superhero destructible environment type of effect that they added to this hero shooter, which I thought was pretty cool. But Penny Parker is another character I got a chance to try, which she's also a tank character, and you can tell by her design, you can see that little bit of that diva effect from Overwatch with this character and everything. But this character is actually pretty fun. It took me some time to get used to the character, but she can actually land landmines. You can lay a turret, and these landmines hit the will scatter all over the ground, and then enemies will be able to blow up. So when you play in game modes like a capture the flag or like a King of the Hill, you just scatter them bad boys all over the place, which makes it harder for the opponent to come in and capture the area when they got to deal with the little mines. And then she can shoot webs on the terrain itself, or she can use it to hold the enemies, and then she can pull herself into them. And if the webs are on the ground, it allows her mobility to be even faster as long as she's on the webs itself, which I also thought was pretty good. And then of course I got a chance to try Rocket. Now some people may be surprised, Rocket is actually a support character. Yes, a support character, and people think like, oh man, with all the guns and weaponry that he got, why would he be a support character? I think it actually works because with Rocket, he can actually shoot like these healing type of orbs at the teammates that can heal him. He can also set revival turrets. So when you could throw them in a specific area and everything, and then when if your hero or your ally dies, if they're near the turret actually revives them on the spot. And you don't know how many times that actually saved us, made us take over or make a comeback just because we took over an area or we was pushing the payload to the next area, and then we will get swarmed by the opponent from the opposing side, and next thing you know, bam, it just get revived, and he's able to pretty much cover ground or take the ground back that we have lost because of these revival turrets that Rocket have used. And also certain characters have special abilities when they're together. Yes, there's like, it's kind of like Marvel Alliance. When you put certain characters on the same team, you get special effects, which I also thought was also pretty cool, and it gives these different type of buffs. It adds new type of effects to your characters. So Rocket can actually jump on Groot. Groot is also a tank as well, so you can imagine with a support and a tank together, attached together, what type of special abilities that they can that they have together, which I also thought was pretty cool. And then of course Luna Snow. Luna Snow, it's a lot of people may not know who this character is. She has been around for some time. She is a new character, but at the same time she's been around for quite a while. So she is kind of like a new generation slash, you know, I wouldn't say veteran, but she's been, you know, a character for quite some years now. And I never heard of the character, but I love her aesthetic. I love her design. She's also a support character too as well, where she can cast this special ability where she can put a signifier over top of your ally, and then she can shoot her ice particles to heal your allies. Then of course she has a special ability where she can heal everyone by singing, or she can change the rhythm to actually increase everybody attack power and everything, which I also thought was pretty cool. She reminds me of a Pixar character just in her design altogether, and I thought she was also really cool. But Punisher, bro, Punisher. Let me talk about Punisher for a second, because Punisher, dude, that dude, for me, in my personal opinion, he's another DPS character. That dude is busted, man. This dude has everything. He has a machine gun. He has a shotgun as a secondary weapon. He also has a turret that he can just put down in the area and just start gatling it away. And then he has this special type of suit where it has all this weaponry on it. This dude is just unstoppable. He reminds me of Soldier 76 in Overwatch, and he also reminds me of like Marcus Phoenix because his build. This dude is buff as fuck. he looked like Marcus Phoenix, like a Gears of War character. But I had the most fun, especially with the Punisher, because my kill streaks, and sometimes I felt bad using Punisher at times because Punisher is that damn good in my personal opinion. And I'm just going around just gunning down people with the Punisher. And Punisher is one of my favorite characters, but Punisher, oh my god, that dude is just sick. And I really enjoyed that character. But Hela, I didn't really get a chance to play as much. I really need the time to actually sit down and try to see how this character worked. But we was getting her butt kicked during this one match. So I was like, you know what? I want to learn her and go to the training mode and figure out this character. But essentially, overall, the experience, I really had a good time with a lot of the characters. Jeff the Shark was a new character added into the beta, which he's a very new character because the characters interact with each other, which is pretty cool. The characters talk and everything, and Jeff is like a healer type class, and like his healing is stupid as shit, stupid good and everything. And of course, you know, Eastern Studios love to take like little cute characters and cutify them even more. So Jeff the Shark is actually a really cute character, adorable character, and really, really good support character. And we started seeing a lot of Jeffs, and we've seen a lot of Venoms that was paired up in the team, because Venom is fucking good. He's a tank. He is too damn good. So hopefully they balance out him, and Spider-Man is just fucking awesome too. He's a difficult character to use, but fighting against Spider-Man was also a frustrating experience because this dude, he's actually a high learning curve character, because this dude zips around. If you know how to zip around with that character, he's almost a character that you can hardly ever get your hands on. Like, he's hard to deal with at times. But the overall experience, I had a good time coming together with my brothers, live stream with them. A lot of you guys came into the live stream to actually see the game actually play, and I had a good time with the game. I'm more of a team player more than a 1v1 competitive player. I love playing in a team environment, a team setting. And the thing about hero shooters is the fact is that I'm not really good at FPSs or shooters in general. But the thing about hero shooters, what I love the most is every character is broken into the class. So if I'm not good at shooting, I could be good at supporting. Like I'm able to play a role somewhere, you know, to be able to help the team out in some way. So if I'm not good at one gameplay style, I may be good at another gameplay style, or more comfortable with a gameplay style that suits my gameplay, you know, and what I enjoy, and then I'm able to contribute to the team in some way. And I think that's what I enjoy most about hero shooters. But as I said before, the character selection is awesome. It has some cool characters that fits every class, fits every mode, and I can't wait to see what other characters. We have not yet seen Wolverine or Captain America just yet, and we'll definitely be seeing them. I can see NetEase wanting to hold off on that. Now, as far as cosmetics are concerned and monetization, we don't know much about that yet, since it's only a closed beta. We was only able to have access to what we were able to have access to. But I know that they're going to probably go crazy with the costumes, because there were some cool costumes alternatives that they did have that was in the beta that was pretty cool. And I can see players wanting to go out and grind those out, or even want to probably spend money to get some of these costumes and these variations and everything. But overall, I really enjoyed the experience, and I don't really care that it's an Overwatch clone, because it did have some things in there that made it stand out, just to make it feel like its own thing. But the thing about it being a clone as well, they took the best aspects about it, because the problem with most clones when it comes to genres like these, or in the genre, in these different genres in gaming period, is that these developers just copy and paste but don't understand what makes this mechanic work, or why gamers love these mechanics. And when it comes to Marvel Rivals, they did a really, really good job nailing the aspects that make Overwatch fun, but they put it into Marvel Rivals. This is Overwatch but with Marvel characters, and I love Marvel characters, and it's fun. And surprisingly, there's a lot of people that has the same opinion, that this game actually has potential. Now we just want to wait and see once we get an open beta, and then we go into the actual launch and see how long this lasts. I really think this has potential, and Overwatch does need some type of competition. They definitely need competition in the space, because if they bring in the competition, then it will also improve Overwatch 2 as well. Competition is a good thing for gamers and the industry as a whole. But that's pretty much my opinions and my thoughts in the comments, and my thoughts on Marvel Rivals. If you have tried it, definitely leave your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about it? And what characters would you love to see in Marvel Rivals making into the roster, you know, once the game launched? Definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe button for more gaming content here on this channel. This is MugenLord, sign off. I'll see you game fiends later. Peace out.